What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, Callion Master. I do this really big face thing a lot, don't I? I want you to look into my eyes and tell me what it is you see. Welcome to another episode of Social Dynamics 101. Today's episode is dating or courting. Which one is right for you? This is going to be a two-parter, so be sure to like and subscribe so that way you can see both of them. Hey, what's going on? It's your main man, Callion. Did you know that most people don't know the difference between courtship and dating? That's okay. But it is important to know which direction or path that you need to take or you are willing to take, given your personal situation, right? Although this can be as difficult as choosing the right donut on cheat day. But it can mean the same thing to those who choose dating as their preference versus seeking a long-term commitment. We will start with dating. Dating. Online dating specifically, given that it is 2019. I mean, it's made its way into our lives at such a rapid pace with all its conveniences. Now, rather than being set up on some blind date, you now have the option to view various of profiles and photos and read a little bit about the person online, talk about pictures and things. I mean, you're picking and choosing all day. It takes pre-selection to a whole different level. Swipe left, swipe right. Wait, go back. I missed her. She was so pretty. Like the song says, let me walk your body like a carrier. Turn me on, my baby, don't you cut me out. Turn me on, my baby, don't you cut me out. Although online dating has become a growing trend, we still want to caution people to be safe out there. You don't want to give yourself a swipe herpes or something. I don't know. Is that even a thing? Your finger would explode. Never mind, that's gross. Please don't put a thing of, or maybe you do want to put like swipe herpes on my finger. I don't know. Connecting with someone you're attracted to is going to result, obviously, in sexual tensions and emotions that are designed to be hard to resist. So when it comes to dating, these things can be really difficult, especially if you're a person who's just like, I'm just trying to hang out. Why do you want to complicate things? I don't want to complicate things. Sex complicates things. Coitus complicates things. I have to remember to use my favorite word. Coitus. Coitus complicates things, obviously. And unfortunately, once you're dating and you're putting yourself in a position where you're dating multiple people, if you're having coitus with multiple people, that also complicates things. Emotions get involved and all the rest of that stuff. And then courtship has its difficulties as well. Difficulties to be dealt with for those of us who have been used to dating and shagging as many people as we find possible. Like myself in the past, but I'm not like that anymore because I've grown as a person. We're used to letting your freak flag fly. Now, though both dating and courtship are different, courting is a choice to not emotionally give away your heart piece by piece until you've learned a bit more about the person. Whereas with dating, I mean, I was just reading an article the other day where a woman said that she was willing to have sex on the first date, which if that's your thing, in order to weed out the losers. But that's kind of the point of courting, weeding out the losers. You gonna wait for this cookie. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying one is better than the other. This is all about your personal preference and what you need in your life right now. If you're considering staying in the dating game, then go for it. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a social event. Dating can be two people seeing each other socially, exclusively, or romantically for a duration of time. But it can also be seen in groups like double dating or solo dating. While we don't see it this way, based on the definition of the word, when you go out with your boys and you all are kicking it and hanging out, that's a date. Or a boy dance party. It's a boy dance party. It's a boy dance party. It's a boy dance party. I mean, you plan, you set up a date. Let's go hang out. You get fly. You pick a meeting spot. A date doesn't necessarily require anything romantic. However, when it's connected to someone you are attracted to, it typically and frankly does become a mating ritual. Now I sound like Drax. My father used to tell the story of my impregnating my mother every winter solstice. It was beautiful. You Earthers have some hang-ups. When it comes to romantic situations, dating never ever stops. Even as two people go from dating into courtship, engagement, and into marriage, a couple must needs always date. And date nights are supposed to be fun. Now, oftentimes you meet someone you're attracted to and go through the rigmarole of going out a few times to dinner, maybe the movies or a concert, exchanging a few text messages and emails. All of this is basically to see, honestly, if you're going to get yourself wound up enough to make some bad decisions. Like
Perhaps
maybe
play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or
maybe
ouch, you're on my hair.
And while I'm sure that the two of you can make it past first base, I want you to consider really taking your time and not rushing into things. We've all seen and heard about people who woke up in someone's bed next to someone that they really weren't interested in, and they were like, oh my God, I was so drunk. Dating also has no time frame. There's no requirement to date just one person. You are free to choose, like the donut shop, to date as many people as you like. Dating should be super relaxed because by definition it implies that things aren't necessarily exclusive. Now, jumping from dating to courting, that's a different story entirely. Courting implies that you want to make things mutually exclusive by taking the relationship to the next logical step. However, at this point, you should not court more than one person at a time. So if you're planning to stay in the dating zone socially, kick it, hang out, have fun. But if you decide that you want a more forward-moving relationship to go to those next phases in life, from dating to courting, engagement, and into marriage, well then, I'm gonna need you to stay tuned for part 2 of Dating or Courting, Courtship.